heading over to Fountain City Coffee. We got a lot of goings on down here. I don't know what all that is. I feel like I'm at the fair or something. So we got our free chai tea for the tour while we wait. Yep. Tour guide over there. We're about to get started pretty soon, I think. Let me see how it is.
A hot chai tea. No, I'm not.
That's actually pretty good. I didn't think I would like it.
I'm not going in.
Cinnamon.
It's a texture like a hot chocolate, but it's not.
It's a little foamy inside.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like a hot tea sort of thing,
Yeah.
which I thought, I'm not going to like that.
It smells good, but I just personally don't want it right now.
It's good. I'm surprised.
Oh, but you got me so curious.
It does have a cinnamon taste to it.
How hot is it? Is it really hot?
No, it's not going to burn your tongue.
Yeah, it's not very tea-like. It's creamy.
You do taste cinnamon. I definitely taste cinnamon, but
I
it's
smelled it.
really good. I'm
Yeah.
very surprised because it's.
Wow.
I didn't think it was going to be that good.
Yeah, it looks like an espresso.
It's good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Uh-oh, you got your tea. So you just made last call. We're getting ready to start here in just a couple minutes. Why do I feel like I know? So the tea was so good, I made her get her cup and give it to me.
It's Christmas is what it is. It's Christmas in a coffee cup.
That's some good stuff right there. Tea.
Stop right here so everybody park up and get comfortable. So this building right here used to be a shared office space with a man named Thomas Brewer and a guy named Raymond Flowers. Sorry, I had to go look over there. Sorry, it was really loud. Anyway, so this was...
That's what that's my question. They were like, ah.
First Iron Bank. Now heading to Springer. All right.
With its still original purpose. Now, this started off, it was founded in 1871 as a grocery store, and then a theater was built on the second floor. Now, the Springer has stayed to a varying of different degrees. It was once a movie theater, it was almost a parking lot, but it was saved by some very, very nice and talented people who managed to keep it a working theater. They're doing all sorts of great shows. I'm going to selflessly promote. I'm going to be an elf, and I'm also going to be in the Rocky Horror coming up. You should definitely come in and see all of these. But
Rocky
we
Horror.
go on Wednesdays and the rest of October to do our haunted Springer tours. The Springer has more ghosts per capita built in the building than pretty much anywhere else in the state, and as well as I know, the country. Now, these are the most reported actual ghost sightings. Now, I can confirm a lot of these with my own eyes, ears, and fears. Like, I've been working in the building for quite a while, and whew, I'm superstitious now. Like, I didn't used to be. Oh, it's fantastic. So one of the ghost stories I really like to tell is this one right here. So this whole room right here looks a lot different from the rest of the Springer. And I'll tell you why. It's because this store used to be a flower shop. Originally, when the Springer was growing outward and outward through the block, they were buying up more and more land. So this right here has been here since the early 70 years ago. This is where so this right here is the saloon. This is a full-fledged saloon. The bar in there comes from a bar in Savannah. They had it transferred over. But this is where people would come and drink and do things before the show. This is where the
Man, we're venturing down deep into the residential area now. We're leaving the Broadway madness.
Alright, let's all hold up right here for just 1 second. Now that it's nice and dark, I'm going to tell our next little story. So we are standing at the site of the old Soulsmiths Theater. This was the first theater in Columbus. It no longer stands here today, but it used to be right here on this lot. We'll talk about it a little more later, but I did want to tell you guys a quick story. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, right behind me is a Confederate memorial to all those who died defending Columbus and those who went out from Columbus who fought in the Civil War.
Oh, God.
And right here, all of you guys arrange yourselves to the most comfortability you can. Boy, oh boy. Having a good time. How about you guys? Good. Welcome to Heritage Park. So this is Heritage Park. This is commissioned by the Columbus government as an ode to basically the heritage of the city. Feel free to find a space.
Nice little Coca-Cola reference there. I saw that.
Please feel free to come back and check it out. It is super interesting, although it was very dangerous. All of that millwork required constant replacement of parts, and children were often used because parts can only be put in with extremely delicate and small implements sometimes. I would let them know if children are perfect to go to safety issues. So this whole block right here, this whole stretch of homes, these are all relocated homes. They're placed here because of its importance to the historic district. So this is the Emily Woodruff cabin. This was one of the first places that the Woodruff family lived. They're very important to Columbus. They're not haunted though, so I don't talk about them. John Pemberton, however, used to live in this home. Now, it didn't always used to be located. It was moved here. Just inside, there's a portrait of him you can see in that bedroom. This was his original home. As well as a number of these homes up here have various historical importances. This is the place where he invented forming. There's actually a wax statue of him. It was featured in a museum article about him. It was featured in a newspaper photo. They took a picture of it. But because it's wax and terrible, it looks awful. It's basically, I have a picture of a very, very weird female-looking John Pemberton wax figure anywhere. So if anyone wants to look at it.
We just got done with a haunted history tour. I think it was very good. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I certainly enjoyed myself.
We're quite sweaty because it was quite humid outside. One of the more fascinating, it wasn't really scary, and I didn't think, it was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. Maybe not quite as many ghost stories, but a lot of interesting historic, maybe bloody type stories, but not necessarily all like ghost stories necessarily. There's like some things about like civil wars and murders and different things like that, but you know, most of the ghost stories were like early on, like the Springer, which you knew they would talk about the Springer.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. I thought probably my favorite story that was the Lake
Lanier
Lanier story.
monsters. That is so fascinating. Never heard that before.
Yeah,
So glad he talked that.
So we don't have, we've got the Loch Ness monster and, all these other
Nessie,
myths.
any other
But
kind of
forget that. We got monster catfish.
Fish. It is catfish, monster catfish at Lake Lanier.
Yeah, apparently they're so big that they can.
That they eat whole chickens.
Yeah, they eat whole chickens.
Eat whole chickens.
So I guess people go out there.
Look that up. The Lake Lanier catfish monsters.
That was
Look that
interesting. I like the little Pemberton story about the whole Coca-Cola thing, but about like, as soon as he started talking about he mixed cocaine, I was like,
You
okay,
knew automatically it was going to be Dr. Pemberton.
this is Coca-Cola.
Coke.
He's doing the Coca-Cola story. That was pretty obvious.
But I
it
never
was
heard
neat.
before about his history before, about why he made Coca-Cola.
Yeah. I don't think I heard that either. That's why I didn't really realize it until he started talking about mixing cocaine in a beverage format. I'm like, this is Coke.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
you
we
know
were right there
Columbus-
next to the Dr. Pemberton statue at Heritage Park. So it's
Yeah.
like, I know where he's going with this.
Yeah, you
I
talk
think pretty
about
much everybody knew. Everybody who was local knew.
I like, and one of the unexpected things coming here tonight, they started their fall concert series.
Yeah.
Well, they had of all things, they had the Elton John tribute band playing. And no matter how far out we got, because we got into the residential area, which was, pretty far out, you could hear everything that was going on. So it was basically like we got two events for one. And by the way, if you're going to have any concert thing going on, a band playing nothing but Elton John songs, that's a win-win right there. So that was great to be able to have that going on. We didn't have any issues with parking because we're in a parking garage. And it was pretty close to where
we ended. It was like right next to where we ended.
it was not too far from where we started either, so we didn't have to walk far from where we're at.
No, because we didn't even end back at the coffee shop. We
Yeah.
just ended right there at the fountain.
So that was good. He talked about, and I don't really remember this, he talked about a haunted Springer tour.
I heard him, he was mainly talking to the guy who was next to him at a certain point, but I definitely heard him say that there was going to be a tour at the Springer and flashlights. I was like, oh, they're going to do it again. Because at one point they did do it, but then I never saw anything about it again. And he just mentioned it, our tour guide, Asher. He mentioned it to somebody, and then we just kind of overheard him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he was talking about them doing that, and I was like, well, I guess that's what the flashlights were going to be for, because I had heard that they were going to provide flashlights tonight.
Yeah.
But I guess they decided it was well lit enough that they weren't going to do it. Or maybe they were going to do the Springer walkthrough and they decided they couldn't do it right now.
So we got
I
to
don't
look
know.
into that because I'm very interested in
Yeah. So that was a good experience. Look forward to any future activities going on with it. But for now, we're going to go home and get cleaned up because it was quite muggy. So
yeah, doesn't look like it, but we are sweating buckets here. So
see ya.
see ya.
Say that you'll never, 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 never